I'm going to the gym today. Are you going to come with me?
Did you just call me fat on the podcast?
This is my life. This is it. I ask him if he wants to go to the gym, and he tells me I call him fat.
It's the Jack
And Kathy
Show.
Shit Show.
And there we go.
Yeah, how was that?
Okay,
Did you like
I
that
think
one?
I think if yeah.
Okay. So right now,
We're fighting.
I want to point out that we got new tattoos.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say we're fighting.
No.
Oh.
We got new tattoos. I don't know if they can be seen on camera.
Probably not.
If you're watching. But the story behind that, I think we told that story already, where
We did. But
the short version is that we were in Michigan at your cousin's swimming in the lake, and my wedding ring fell off into the water, into the sand.
Lake Michigan.
In Lake Michigan.
4 feet of water.
Yes, because we were playing football, football, and or throwing a football, and God knows I can't play football, and you found it. We all went in the water and you found it. So we decided cannot wear rings swimming anymore. That is like I have PTSD from that.
Do you really?
I keep thinking that I'm going to forget. I'm going to go swimming. Like I'll go
for
out
real?
to Carrie's house and jump in the lake, and I'll forget I have my ring on.
For real?
And yes.
No kidding.
And then when we were swimming at the condo, I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't take my ring off. It's going to fall off. But that's okay because I'll find it in the pool. And then I looked at my hand and I'm like, oh, I don't have my ring on. So yeah. But for that reason, we were inspired to get ring tattoos.
Yes.
And so, yeah, we have new tattoos.
Yes.
And I love it. Mine is inspired by two waves colliding together like our relationship and creating a storm. Just kidding. No, it's two waves united.
So let's go back to gaslighting.
Two waves united in love. And yours is?
An arrow through a heart. Because I've been stabbed there so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Two waves colliding, creating a storm. And this is so funny for you. Everyone needs to know I'm incredibly vulnerable right now, and Kathy is completely taking advantage of that. That's what we call in the therapy world.
In the therapy world. Me and my colleagues.
Me? I've done a peer review study.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
With
Do
my
tell.
peers.
With my peers, a peer review study with my peers. No, babe, I love our tattoos.
I think it's a great idea.
And mine hides completely under my wedding ring by design, and yours just kind of peeks out
Just
each
a little
edge
bit,
and kind of adds to your ring
It
quite
looks
a bit.
cool. I like it.
Yeah, we like it.
It's interesting. I like wearing my ring quite a bit. So when I don't have it on,
yeah, me too.
I can feel my hand getting like there's something missing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And then what I don't like about having this ring tattoo is now it's clearly obvious that I'm taken.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you're off the market, babe. Officially, you've been branded.
Wasn't it your son that said that doesn't mean anything? Because I brought up the same concern. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. A lot of people wear their rings to find people to have sex with and have an affair with. Oh.
What that was essentially what he was saying.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for that.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
very funny.
I don't want to talk much on this podcast because
it's a podcast. You need to talk.
I know, but I feel, see, you don't edit the podcasts.
You're tired of listening to your own voice.
I talk too much.
Well, you do talk more than I do in this relationship, so it's consistent. And I don't mean that's a bad thing.
We're changing that today.
Today?
Yeah.
I have to talk more?
Yes.
Oh.
But I love hearing your thoughts and your voice and your ideas.
So today, should we dive right in? So today, before we do the podcast, we're like, okay, what do you want? What topic?
Do you want to tell a funny on the podcast? Sorry, before you go, I just interrupted you. That was really rude. That's what those eyes.
That is our topic. Great lead-in. Jack interrupts me. I love you, and I love what you have to say. So please go right ahead. You want to tell a funny?
No. Realize I interrupted you. There's a thought in my head. I went, you gotta get it.
And I know, and it's right on the heels of, I don't want to do any talking. I want you to do all the talking. So I start talking, and you interrupt me because you have something to say. So let's hear the funny.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about the Bunny Dory thing that happened, because that was cute, but I didn't know if that was public knowledge that you wanted that to be funny.
It struck my funny bone so much. It was, where were we? We were looking, the topic was, we were looking for you asked me, have you seen my glasses? Where were we?
At Alex's house.
Oh, we were at Alex's house. Yeah, we were watching the boys, and...
Do you want to tell this story? Because I don't want to embarrass or hurt you. It's a cute podcast type anecdote, only if you feel comfortable talking.
Well, it's sort of making fun of me.
Then don't talk about it.
But
don't talk about it then if you feel it's uncomfortable. I'm being serious.
I know, but you brought it up.
You don't have to talk about it. I'm just wondering if you wanted to. But if you don't want to because you feel it's making fun of you and it's hurtful, then don't do it.
Well, you led with, it's a funny.
There are sometimes cute stories between us that we share on the podcast that, yes, is public, but we don't talk about publicly. Does that make sense? Like, we share anecdotes of our life that are funny.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel this makes fun of you too much, then we're not talking about it.
Well, it certainly makes fun of me. And I certainly laughed about myself because it's a fine line, isn't it? So this is actually kind of an interesting topic and not just a story about me and me being a space cadet. But it's like, we all have sensitivities about ourselves. And one of my sensitivities is that I don't always have the best memory, right? And when my memory fails me, and it upsets somebody else because I can't remember, that's very hard for me. And then it also upsets me when I really do believe I remember something, and because I don't have a good memory, I'm sometimes not believed that I remember it. Because I'm branded with, well, your memory's not so good, Kat, so we can't quite believe that that's true. That really bothers me. All that being said, I do know that my memory isn't always the greatest. And so part of that is what this story is about, because you and I were watching the boys, and to be sure, it was a little chaotic that day, right? Watching the boys, and they're 2 years old and 6 months old, and they're amazing, and you're kind of all over the place, right? And you had come into the room and said, Kath, have you seen my glasses? And I was like, yeah, I saw them on the table. Wait, no, I saw them. Oh, they're in your bag. Oh, no, wait, they're in the car. And if you're watching,
it's not that you couldn't, to be sure. And it pains me to hear that you think that this story is funny to me because you couldn't remember where they were. That's not what was funny for me. What was funny is you picked a statement and then you tilted your head.
Yes.
Like, no, wait.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you will have to see the video to see exactly how my head worked and where my brain, my head turned as I'm thinking and gathering thoughts, as if turning my head, it's over here. And that was the delivery of that moment was absolutely sincere in that moment that I was like trying to think. And why we do that when we think, we're like,
but you did
wait.
to be sure. You went, can you do it again? Because you did it so fast. You went, yeah, it's in the kitchen. No.
Nope.
No, it's in the bag in the stroller. Wait.
No, it's in your, and so yes, it was a moment like that. And you were looking at me and you said, just keep swimming.
No, I didn't. I went, oh my God, I'm married to Dory.
I'm married to Dory. And
then you said, just keep swimming. You started singing it.
No, I think you did, because I would not have remembered that line from the movie. And then you also said the address, like whatever it is, 123 Wallaby Way, whatever the number is, Wallaby Way. And I knew exactly what you meant. It was spot on. It was hilarious. It struck my funny bone as well, because it was truly like, oh my God. And
to be sure, because I don't want to hurt you, it wasn't that you weren't remembering. It was that you became that character in your, it's right here. No, wait. And it's over here. No. That was what Dory does.
And then to add to it, about 2 days later, I stopped in to visit Jenny at her house, and I had gone into the house to say hi to her, and we were chatting, and then we went out and toured the garden, and I had gone in the house. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to bring back your Tupperware thing. Your glass Tupperware is in the car. I forgot to bring it. Okay, we'll get it when we go out to the garden. And then we go and look at the garden because everything's filling in beautifully, and we're walking back to the house, and she's like, don't you want to stop by the car? And I go, for what?
It's the face. You have to understand. You make this face. You are listen to me. This is Linda. Listen. This is really important. You are stunning. You are beautiful. Every once in a while, you make these absolutely bizarre faces. It's what you did just now. You're like, what?
Wait, what?
it's the
car.
Car. Go ahead.
And Jenny goes, she goes, you are Dory right now. I'm like, oh my God.
Jack just called me that yesterday.
Just called me that. I gotta text him. Jenny just called me Dory.
And you tell me the story, and I can't stop laughing.
Yeah, it was very funny. And I was laughing, and I was laughing with Jenny. And at the same time, even though I'm laughing at myself and I'm now telling the story to the world, it's me telling it, right? Because wrapped in there is my insecurity of my terrible memory, right? And so it is not a story that I want told by you to other people. So
because that's making fun of you then.
Right.
Correct.
And you did bring it up just now, and I leaned in.
Okay, because if you didn't want to do it.
Well, I leaned in.
If I may, I think it's a wonderful story. I really do, because it's a wonderful story of, I felt comfortable to go, oh my God, I'm married to Dory, without worrying that was going to hurt or offend you, because it wasn't that you weren't remembering things, it's your mannerisms through it, right? And then when Jenny said it, it was funny. And I hope you take it as a moment and not a pattern of behavior. I know you think it's a pattern of behavior.
Well, it is. It is. It's like, it's a thing with certain friends that know me really well. They're like, Kat, you remember that? You know?
You store things. If I can make a statement here, having known you for a little bit now, I don't think you have a bad memory. I think you store stuff and it takes a second to come back down.
It does. It does, which is why I call my brain a Google search window. I can't even speak now. Google search window that you got to put in sometimes half a dozen search words for it to populate correctly. But what pops into my mind right now is my friend Mary, who, when was it? No, never mind. That's a different story.
Oh, is it a bad one?
No,
What were you
it's
going to
actually
tell?
reminds me of another moment where I forgot that on my honeymoon with my first husband, I went on a helicopter ride
Okay.
in Hawaii,
Okay.
and I'd forgotten that.
Oh,
And
you told me this story before where he said something to you about it, right?
yeah, like, Kath, you've done that or something like that. And I
Mm.
was like, oh yeah. It came down from the cloud, and then I remembered what I was wearing, you know?
Yeah, but that's
So,
I want you. Well, you got to react to things the way you react to things. Just know that you wouldn't be good at your job if you didn't have a good memory, because your job requires you to know things about real estate law and two states, and you wouldn't be able to take tests to get your licenses if you didn't have
you're
those
trying to make
skills.
me feel better.
No, I truly feel where you struggle in this topic is some people are fast, like it's the cloud connects like that,
Mm-hmm.
and that frustrates you. It doesn't mean you don't have access to the cloud. It's just that for some people, it's much faster.
Your
But
brain is really fast. You can tell me every part of a conversation. Like if you just talked to a coworker and all this went down, you would be able to remember. And then I said this, and then they said this, and then I said this, and I'd be like, well, we decided to choose August 23rd as the launch date. I don't know what else was said. I don't know.
yeah,
You
but I
remember
also forget a
the
lot of things too. You
conversation
know that.
verbatim.
Like I forget a ton of things. We'll get someplace. I'm like, fuck, forgot my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as though I think it's I personally feel it's the speed thing that makes
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
feel less intelligent, which is really what it comes down to,
Mm-hmm.
and it has nothing to do with it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
your brain fires synapses differently. My thing that was
Yeah.
really funny in that moment wasn't that you what you were doing, so everyone knows, because I know you so well, you remembered all the places where my glasses were because we were outside with the kids. I took my glasses off. We were in the restaurant because we took the boys to dinner. Took my glasses off, put them on the table because the boys were grabbing my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So you remembered every instance when I
I
took
have
them
the
off.
pictures of where I saw your
Right.
glasses all flash into my brain.
So
I'm
what you were
like,
doing was going
oh
in
wait, that wasn't the
chronological
last one.
order. You were going, all right, they're there. No, wait. Because you realized that that moment came and went and then moved someplace else. And
Yeah.
you took my glasses from me
Mm-hmm.
and put them in the car, in the stroller.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I knew what you were doing was processing,
Mm-hmm.
but you were doing it out loud in such a way that was so funny. Wait, no, wait, no, wait. And you kept turning your head like it's the answer's over there. No, it's over there. No, it's over here.
And that was actually really a sincere
Because that's what
moment.
Dorothy
It
does.
wasn't like, I'm going to try to be Dory in this moment. Sometimes I play it up to be a goof, but no, that was real. And, you know, so circling back around, this makes me, reminds me that you and I have had conversations about our memory and our brain and as we're getting older. And I know I've talked to Jenny about it too. Like, I'll be on the phone with her and I'll forget to get up, take my exit on the expressway. I'm like, fuck my brain, Jenny, what's happening to me? And she's like, I know, right? I feel the same way. So
Do you know that happened when you were in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s? That happened.
I think, I'm sure it did. And I will add that it all feels different now then because being older, I'm so hyper aware, as most of us are, about how our body is changing and how, like, I'll look at my body, I'll be like, what's that growing? When did that pop up? Literally, I got something that grew right there. I'm like, I got to get that shit checked now. What the hell? And so I think it makes me hyper aware that maybe this is associated with growing older, and then, oh my God, I'm older and what else is on the way, and fuck. And your biggest fear is losing your brain,
Well, I have a
right?
genetic history, yeah. So
Well, sure. I think to a degree we're all, worried about some of that. So,
yeah.
regardless of the genetic history. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of
Well, thank
all
you
of
for
that
sharing
rolled
the
into
story.
that. Well, thanks for bringing it up.
I really mean it. No. So if you don't, all right. Moving forward, I should ask you these things before we press play.
It's fine. I think it was actually a good unprepared topic for conversation.
Keep talking. I just want to check something here. I want to make sure all is recording. Yeah, we're good. Sorry. You know, it's so funny. We're talking about memory. My brain just went to, did I press record? See? And I know I did.
Well, all you have to do is add a mannerism now and go, did I press record? Wait.
Would it?
No.
Well, that, it truly was the funniest thing when you, wait. And it's exactly what, I went and looked at clips of Dory and she's like, oh. It was cute.
1, 2, 3, wallaby way. 1, 2, 3, wallaby way. Just keep swimming.
Part of the moral, part of the moral of the story is also in a relationship. If this is some advice, is we have to be able to laugh at each other. I think the challenge is if we went out some places and you said, get a load of what Jack did the other day. It's one thing for get a load of what I did the other day between you and me. Mm-hmm. If I went out and went, oh my God, Kathy was fucking Dory the other day. Mm-hmm. Then what's the gain in that, right? Like if you did it said, to my sister or anyone else.
Yeah. And I said that to you. I said, that's a story that because of my sensitivity to it, it's okay if I share it, but it's not okay for you to share it to other people. Because I'm sensitive to sounding or looking like a moron, or stupid. Or
in a weird way, bringing it up on the podcast, if I appreciate you doing it, I really do. Mm-hmm. It feels more educational then for listeners, because that's part of what you told me when we ended our last podcast. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that at all, where you said, we don't talk about anything, we don't give any advice, like we need to be able to tell people something, like we can't just sit there and talk about, oh, we tied our shoes today. Mm-hmm. And so that's why, in part, I wanted to bring this up, because it has a lot of lessons in it. There's some humility in it. There's some self-awareness. There's some, you've got a close friend that felt comfortable and a partner like me that felt comfortable even labeling you, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, is what a healthy relationship looks like. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I haven't studied that part in my psychology stuff.
Yes, with your...
my peers?
Your peers.
What are your thoughts?
I think it touches on a lot of different topics all rolled into that little story, right? All rolled into that little moment. And I think in terms of our relationship, the big takeaway is that I expressed to you that I'm sensitive about that story being relayed, and you honor that. Except you brought it up on the podcast, but
well, you could have said that you didn't want to talk about it.
I mean, the camera's rolling, so as well as. But
are you mad that I brought it up? Because I'll delete this whole thing.
I was taken aback at first, but now that we're talking about it, I think it's a really relative topic, and it's okay. Truly, it's okay.
Okay.
So it's just, when we have when the other person is sensitive to something. And this kind of actually ties into what I wanted the topic to be today anyway, in a way, because we bring to a relationship certain sensitivities, and they could be irrational sensitivities, right? It could be programming from a previous relationship that we bring to the table, right?
And I would caution calling them irrational.
True. So they might seem irrational to others, but they're not in our own. They're important to us, right? Mm-hmm. So for instance, when we were a couple weekends ago, we were at a backyard barbecue, And the wonderful woman sitting next to me, I forget the topic, but she joked. She's like, "Does Jack bring you coffee?" I'm like, "Hell no." Or I didn't say hell no. I was having fun
Jack
with it.
Used to bring coffee.
I said he used to bring coffee. And that's not at all true. But I was having fun, playing along. But the truth is, you love taking care of me, and you bring me coffee when you can master making it. Because if we're by a French press, it's harder to make. But yes, you take care of me. You get me things to drink in the morning. You want to make me breakfast. You do all of that. And I didn't say that in that moment. And it hurt you. It hurt you to hear me joke like that because you don't want to. It just struck a chord, right? And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I feel is an interesting topic for today is we bring these things into a relationship, and there are moments where the partner triggers that insecurity, and the other person doesn't realize that that is what they just did. And I most certainly, I'm so proud of us and our relationship, and I regret that I gave that impression to somebody, and I certainly regret that I would have hurt you in saying that and playing along, you know. And I think that's really important to be aware of that with the other person. And I have my stuff. I told you this morning in the kitchen, one of the things that I'm sensitive to that I bring to the table is I felt in my previous marriage that I was not listened to. And I don't mean not just listened to, like I had nobody to talk, I didn't have a partner to talk to. I mean, like I would say things out loud, questions or thoughts or whatever, and I would be ignored. Like I wouldn't get an answer at all. It's like I spoke to the wall. It wasn't even a grunt or an acknowledgement sometimes. And so in moments where I might ask you a question, and say you're like reading something, your brain is so hyper focused. If you're looking at something, reading something, doing something, and you're in that task, and your brain is not looking for signals outside of that, you don't respond to me, and that's, unbeknownst to you, a trigger for me. I'm like, fucker's not answering me. This fucking feels familiar, you know.
Fucker's the first word that comes to mind.
No. I'm exaggerating for effect, but it does bring up. I can feel it, even like discussing it right now. Like I'm being ignored right now. I'm having to beg for attention. I'm beg for a response. You know, beg for communication. And in my past, sometimes I'd even cry for it, like literally cry, like I'm talking to you. And so yeah, it's just when you're in that next relationship, sometimes you don't even realize what you're bringing to the table, you know, until that other person sort of does something accidentally or just unconsciously to trigger that, you know. And I'd like you to talk a little bit about you know, we know that, so we both have triggers from our first marriage, and I try to be conscientious of your triggers, because to be sure you have some, correct? It's a podcast, Jack. You need to speak. You can't just go.
With all of the therapy work me and my peers have done, I've pretty much mastered the art and science of being completely in control of my emotions.
Oh, wow.
And my sensitivity. So when things do
you should
occur,
write a book. with your colleagues.
And peers.
Your peers.
Yes.
Your peers and colleagues. All of them.
Keep going.
No, I'm asking you.
Do I have triggers?
Yes. Let's talk about triggers.
Well, when we were at that table and someone said, oh yeah, he brings me coffee in bed all the time, and you said, oh, Jack used to.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that my ex would say all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, and I'm not, I know in my psychology work and all of my therapy sessions that I've done and in my teachings,
everything's true except the last word.
almost all of it's not true. Using the words all the time and most therapists would say, can't do that. I would argue it was all the time. And we'd go someplace and there was a running joke when I was married that it was like that, what's a biblical analogy where Jesus says before the cock crows 3 times, you'll have denied me. Mm-hmm. I used to do that at home. It sounds probably not right. Mm-hmm. I used to say, before this day is up, I'm sure there'll be at least 3 or 4 more times when you rip on me in front of somebody. So if you could just be aware that you keep doing it, and then it would happen. I'm like, that's one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I'd get oh my God, we're really going to do this. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to explain to you that this happens every day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Every day there's a moment to tell somebody about something where I was inefficient.
Right.
And so this is where I'm being very serious now. What I did learn in therapy, so I don't let me back up. My personal thing is, I don't know what the benefit is, so I hope this doesn't come across too heavy right now on you. I really mean that. When you say that, Jack used to bring me stuff, I don't know what the benefit of that is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know who you're serving other than yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so, does that make anybody better? Does that make the situation happier? There's so many other ways when she said, yeah, he brings me coffee in bed. Oh, is that sweet? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
There's so many other ways to keep that conversation going, but when that happens, to me, it's a direct attack at your partner. Mm-hmm. And my brain goes to, what exactly did we serve just now? Because that's what I lived with in my marriage. Mm-hmm. Direct attacks on me.
Right.
In public.
Right.
And so my response always is, I have no idea what that served. It was funny. To whom?
Yeah.
Because if it hurts me, it's not funny. And if I'm the person you care about, why is that the target?
Yeah.
And so in that particular moment, if you want to call it the trigger, that's what happened. However, what I've learned in all of my therapy, and I asked you this question. Mm-hmm. In fact, I thought I handled it really well with you. Right? I didn't get mad at you.
Right.
I said, hey, it really hurt.
Yeah.
When you said that. However, is there some truth to that? Because if I'm not bringing you coffee in bed, and I used to do it more frequently, coffee, tea, I don't give a shit what it is. If I'm not attending to you like I used to, and that was really a moment to say, I wish Jack would do that more, tell me that. Because behind all that sarcasm might be some elements of truth.
Yeah.
And so if you're feeling I'm not, and by the way, for everyone listening, that's not easy to do.
Right.
Because inside I'm like, fuck you. You're sounding just like my ex now. You too, Brutus, right? A2 Brutus, right?
Right, right.
And had so many other options. I think Linda would be very proud of me. At least I hope she would. Or any other therapist listening to this, tell me if I did it well. But I felt, okay, I'm going to tell you how I feel, and I'm going to lean into your emotion, not mine. Mm-hmm. Right? I could have gone on and on about how you hurt me. Could have gone on and on about how I dealt with that. Hey, I could have done this. You know what? I lived with that shit for 25 fucking years. I'm not going to have it with you. Yeah. You're going to start that crap. I can break. I got divorced once. I can get divorced again. Mm-hmm. That's some really combative shit, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Instead, I went, holy crap. Mm-hmm. If she's feeling this way a little bit and that's how she reacts, I got to ask her, am I not showing up for you the right way? Yeah. That's not easy to do when you just got hurt. Right. Is to be able to go, am I hurting you? Right. Right. So that was a trigger where I felt I was definitely bummed that you said it. Mm-hmm. I know you didn't mean it to hurt me, and at the same time there might be something there. To so much so that I even said to you, look, we've got the coffee maker in Chicago that I know how to use and make, and I can make good coffee.
We did just buy a second.
And we bought another
maker.
one so I could have 2 coffee makers that I can make coffee for you easily. Because I like coffee. I know it's a weird topic to go down this rabbit hole. But coffee it affects my memory. When I have caffeine, and if I take a couple minutes off of it, I find that I can't remember things. And so I now have been drinking golden milk and matchas and reishi teas and other things, and I feel far more alert. So I'm aware that's a bummer because I love coffee, but I also can't stop. You know that I have 16 cups in a day.
Oh yeah, you go full Monty. You're like,
I binge the shit.
I haven't had coffee in 3 weeks, but I'm getting a cold brew large.
Right, I'll get a McDonald's extra large cold brew. Right, no sugar. But what I find happens is that I lose my mental acuity, and so it's been very tough for me to break free from coffee. It really has. But my point is, I'm terrible at the French press. I tried making a French press brew for myself when you weren't there to see if it tasted good. I'm like, how the fuck do I do this? I'm online, and for some reason I can't make it. I don't know why. It's stupid. The point is, I said to you, teach me how to make the French press.
Yeah.
And I start to cry because I don't want you thinking I would ever not bring you coffee in bed.
I know.
And so that's how much it hurt me that you said that publicly.
I know.
Because I don't want anyone to think that, I know, but I don't want you to think that somehow, because see, this is where relationships start to break apart.
Yes.
You don't bring me flowers anymore. You don't sing me love songs.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt the right approach in that moment. I really hope there's a therapist listening. We should send this to Leanne or some other folks we know. I felt the right approach was to say, hey, am I not showing up for you enough? In a moment when I was hurt. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely fair. And I regret that I reacted that way. I wish I would have said to her what is the truth, that like, honestly, Jack brings me coffee or whatever the hell I want every morning. He wants to take care of me. And
you okay? What's wrong?
Oh, it's emotional. I've never been so loved the way you love me. And
I want to believe.
I'm proud of that.
I want to believe it was a moment of cheekiness where I was thought it'd be kind of funny.
It was. It totally was. But that's no excuse because I also have the knowledge of how those were digs at you in your previous relationship and how that was needling you in your previous relationship. And I don't ever want to be in that zone. I don't ever want to be that person because of that. And I also want our relationship to be the best it can be. And part of achieving that goal is never undermining your partner, not saying bad things about them to other people, either in front of them or behind their back. And that undermines your relationship. And
do you know why I'm laughing?
Why?
Because that's one of the first things we talked about, not on the podcast, just as a couple.
That we mutually agreed upon is to not talk.
It's 2 things real quick. My sister's husband doesn't, share too many personal anecdotes about relationships often. He's pretty private. And he even said to me not too long ago that when I was married, everything was sarcasm. Everything was ripping on everyone. And he used to get absolutely annoyed by it. Yeah. And it became something our family did. Like all 5 of us did to one another. We'd walk in and someone would trip on their shoes and go, nice walk, you don't know how to tie shoelaces. That was kind of the vibe. And that's not how I grew up. Yeah. I grew up where we would call each other out on things. That's different than making fun of each other. And so I was so sensitive to that and had gone through so much therapy and training that when I met you early on, I said, moving forward or with us, if there's any issues we have, I can't have you talking to your girlfriends, mother, sister, brother. You got to come to me and say, I'm hurt with what you did. Not, do you believe what Jack did today? Yeah. And so to this day, I do not share a story about any discussion that we've had that is where you frustrated me. How's that?
Yeah. And that I support that. That makes sense to me. I believe in that approach. And I also never had that. So I've had to learn what that's like, right? Because I think I lasted so long in my marriage because I had girlfriends to go to. I didn't have a partner
Because
that
you
I
couldn't
could
go to your
go to.
partner and say, you're
No,
upsetting me.
no.
And feel that it would be received. Right?
Oh,
That's
for
the
sure.
issue.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And by the way, there's going to be pushback to anyone listening to this saying you need to be able to go to your girlfriends and guy friends, and I'm just going to steadfastly disagree with that. And any therapist in the world can come challenge me or talk to me about why I may be wrong. I don't. It starts to cross a thin line of trying to solve a problem because I'm struggling in my marriage, but that to me you're in relationships, that presumes the person isn't listening when you're saying I'm struggling. So even this morning we talked about something, right?
Yeah.
Where you started to make plans and I felt that it wasn't really thinking about how that's going to affect me. And I was able to say, hey, I'm kind of hurt when that kind of stuff comes up. And by the way, if any women are listening to this, or men, which no one does because no men listen to this podcast ever, think that, what is that thing I sent to you from Jillian Turecki that said, if you want men to be vulnerable and talk and share their feelings, then don't criticize them when they do.
Right.
Because then they'll shut down.
Right.
The one thing about a relationship that I love is I don't ever feel like I'm less than a man because I tell you things like a 10-year-old boy would say, you hurt me. Right? You scared me. A little boy, 5-year-old boy is going to be scared, I'm hurt, run to their mother, etc. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't change when we become 60-year-old men or 40-year-old men.
Right.
So I appreciate that I can say, hey, it really hurts me in that moment when you do those things.
Yeah.
That doesn't take away my masculinity or my strength.
Right.
And I would hope you see that as making me even stronger. So anyway.
For sure. And certainly there's situations where a counselor might be needed, or in a relationship, you know, you might need an outside source. Or if anybody's in a terribly violent or abusive relationship, that's a whole nother territory. And I'm so not qualified to say anything about that. I'm just talking about, you know, I married my best friend, and that is new territory. So I'm learning how to make that relationship the best it can be. And so you and I discussed early, because you brought it up, and rightly so, about not undermining each other in front of other people, and that going to each other with issues, or because you're not always going to you're going to piss me off, right? I'm going to piss you off. But we got to go to each other, because, you know, the last thing I want is for you to say something bad about me to your friends or family, and then I'm in the room someday and they have knowledge of something and they look at me differently, or they perceive me differently. They don't know the whole story. And that starts to erode the us, right?
Well, again, yes. When you're asking, right, yes. One of the triggers, if you want to keep going down this path, was truly in my marriage. And we've made a pact to one another to not go down this path too far. So I'm going to rely on you to say, land the plane, pump the brakes, if I see you be going too far down a path of talking about our exes in a negative way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to stay true to our commitment on that front. There were so many times when whatever I did that frustrated my ex would come out in public. And it made everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There'd be often get a load of type thing.
Yeah.
What Jack did. Do you believe that Jack did? Can you believe we did this? And Jack did that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And initially it was, well, it's silly, I did this thing. I tried to go along with it because I didn't like that discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, there'll be moments in cars when I go, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
So I don't want you to think that I didn't have the skills to say, can you stop that, please?
Yeah.
Because I did. The bottom line is it made everyone really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so no longer did they kind of just see my fallacies, if you will. They also saw the relationships fallacies or struggles.
Right.
And now it was kind of like, hey, you guys got to figure your shit out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, you're spot on. If there's abuse, if it's something really serious, going to a girlfriend or someone going, hey, he hit me.
Yeah.
I need help.
Yeah.
That's way different. But if, I could easily go up to people and go, we're out the other day, fucking believe this? Kathy said, Jack doesn't order coffee in bed. Motherfucker. Right?
Right.
That's just taking my hurt and spreading it around to try to get people to agree with me and empathize.
Yeah.
But that's not the issue. The issue is I got to go to the person that hurt me and say, hey, you really hurt me there.
Right.
And then if you're not helping me, then I go, hey, if you're not going to listen to me when I say you hurt me, then we have to go talk to someone about how bad this is. And if then you're still not listening, then we have a bigger issue.
Because
you agree with that?
Sure. And how important each role is. So the person needs to find a way to bring it up and discuss it, which I think is easier for you than it is for me. And then the recipient has to accept it, even though it's so uncomfortable to accept that I hurt you, right? It, to not go, I was just kidding. Come on, lighten up.
Or you're being sensitive.
Yes, I can't believe how sensitive you are. Yeah. I love it when you bring me coffee. Because that is a way of dismissing your feelings in reaction to the moment, right?
Yeah, it's putting your reaction to the circumstance ahead of what that person felt.
That's a new perspective and a very important distinction. And it's so interesting. I just saw that on social media too, that illustration of how, with that, what's that couples therapy show that's on Hulu or something?
I love
that we love, but we don't have that subscription right now, but we canceled it.
Maybe we'll renew it for a season.
And so I saw a social media clip where the wife said something like, that's why I reacted to that, because of that. And the husband goes, but I didn't mean it that way. I can't believe you would take it that way. You know that I'm this way or that way. And she gets shut down by him trying to compensate for, you shouldn't be hurt by that, because you know that I do all these other things, right? And I know I've done that to you, where I defend my choice or my words because I didn't have the intention of hurting you. So doesn't that count? Right? Doesn't that count?
It doesn't matter. Like, we've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Off the podcast, one of the challenges that you and I have is me saying to you, it doesn't matter if you intended to do it, you still did it. Right? I know you don't mean to hurt me. That doesn't mean you don't hurt me. Right? And so you didn't mean to hurt me when you said the coffee thing. If we can stay on that, it's just not to belabor the point. It's just an illustration, correct? Yeah. So you didn't intend to hurt me. You did. And you could have, I think the old Kathy would have been, you've got to take it, you can't take this stuff too seriously. I also feel I softened it. So that's
you did.
By me saying you hurt me. And if this is true, we got to talk.
And that's really great, because what I see in that is, I think you're making a choice where you are trying to be effective, right? Yeah. So it kind of gets back to when your therapist, Linda, said, do you want to be right or do you want to be effective? And those can look very different.
Sometimes my version of right is really effective.
Right. But I think you were trying to be effective. And I think what you were also have come to learn is how do I get the best response out of Kathy when I come to her and tell her that she's hurt me, because in the past it was, defensiveness, right? So I think I'm getting better with that.
Oh,
And
no doubt.
You're approaching me differently, which is super helpful.
This is work. Yeah. I think what's so marvelous about our relationship, and the reason I really like this podcast today a lot, and you're right, the last couple of ones have been like, hey, we put in a new kitchen sink and,
and remodeling.
Look at us. And we're doing life. This is what is the essence of our podcast that tends to get people to pay attention, is how do you navigate this stuff the second time around? And we're 5 years into our relationship now, going on 2 years of marriage. And we are dramatically different people than we met.
Yeah.
Individually too, not just as a couple. We are, I think back to what we were when we met one another, and we still have dreams and goals that are separate from one another and combined. We're changing a lot. At the same time, I think we've gotten incredibly good at stopping and listening. Our fights are much smaller.
Yeah. That's because we're not remodeling anything.
No, stop it.
It's stressful as hell.
It's a little stressful, but we've both gotten better at even little things like picking out the table. I've gotten better. You've gotten better. We're learning to respond to one another. The key takeaway for me is that this is critical for the two of us. And so if it's critical, you got to own your own shit. You have to be willing to say things when you feel a certain way. And you got to let the other person feel their way too. And hope that you're coming together going, all right, we can figure this shit out. My bad. Or I see you're coming from, I still disagree. And I'm going to lean into how you feel at this particular moment. I'm not comfortable, but I get it. We do that far more than we used to. Especially the second time around, I think it's much, how do I say this? Everyone thinks that because it's the second time around, there's some ease to it, right? Because we don't have kids that we're raising together. We don't have all the stressors of life. I would also argue when you're our age and you've been divorced and you've dated other people and you're independent, right? It's much easier to go, I can fucking live on my own.
Right.
I got enough assets and resources around me that I don't need this shit.
Yeah.
How do you think? How do you feel?
Yeah. Good.
No, you agree with me that we've
sure.
worked hard at this stuff?
Yes, most definitely. And that I don't want to go through some of this shit again. So to your point, like, this fierce independent streak that might rear its head if it needs to, that probably doesn't ever go away. Right? Yeah.
Your brain's processing something
it
right now. You're like, I got to get to my real estate. Is that what you're doing right now? I can feel it. Is your brain going, I've got so many real estate things I got to do right now. I got emails to send out. Did I check my tax? Holy shit.
No, my brain went to the financial aspect, but that might be another topic. But, this idea of always wanting to stay fiercely independent in some way because of this like safety mechanism that we have programmed into us. Like, I want this relationship so much to work, but if it doesn't, I'll be okay. I got this. And part of that is the financial aspect of it, like being able to take care of myself financially has always been.
Yeah, that's true.
Has always been an aspect of that safety mechanism.
Do you remember what I said when on our very first date? I said, by the way, I'm not taking care of anybody. Do you remember I said that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Cannot believe how bold I was that first date.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I know who I am. And yet all I think about now is how do I make sure Kathy is taken care of should something happen to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it leans more on I trust you.
Yes, and that takes time, right?
Yep.
I mean, I never thought I'd get married again. I'm like, why the hell would I need to ever get married? I'd like a life partner. I forced you.
You did.
I did.
You forced our first date.
While you were sleeping. highly medicated. I had a officiant come in the room and marry us in your sleep.
All right.
And yeah, so.
Your brain is onto something else. I can feel it. It is.
What are you talking about?
No,
huh?
No, I don't mean that. I can tell you got work brain kicking in.
Probably. But this was good. This was a good talk.
Thanks for re-engaging in the podcast. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes. The therapist, me and my friends and peers will share this. I really want to get that subscription on. Maybe we should go back to Paramount and get it.
We might have to.
Yeah.
Maybe in winter. It's so.
Yeah,
we're in summer.
We're kind of.
This is like outdoor time.
Yeah, the only TV show we're watching. Here's the thing. Let's end here. And we're going to spend probably 5-10 minutes on this, but let's end here.
Okay.
If anyone's watching House of
Dragons, please explain
can you explain
what
the fuck's going on? We felt like we've watched the first 2 seasons, and they came fairly close to one another, but it's been probably a year since the last one came out, if not longer, right?
And we're watching, we're like,
who
fuck are they?
Wait a minute, okay.
Wait, so are they on the side of that one?
Kathy has her phone open, and she's like, okay, that's Damon. Damon is this guy. I'm like, I thought Damon was the guy with the patch. Wait a minute, that's Aemon? That's Aemon.
Aegon. Aegon?
And why is he pissed? Wait, he's there. Oh, their father slept with him.
But they don't know that they're dead. And we're just, I had both my phone and the laptop going.
You were. It was hilarious.
I was trying to read on my phone what the storyline was. And then when that referenced a character, I referred to my laptop to get the face of the actor who's playing that role.
So we could look on screen.
And the name, so then I could look on screen. It's too much.
So if anyone could just help us, like if there's a class, a YouTube link.
I think the key is that we have to start all the way back to the beginning.
And watch 100 episodes, basically?
Is House of Dragon before Game of Thrones?
Correct.
It's a prequel
to
Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's all the families before. Because if you remember at the very end of Game of Thrones, the blonde takes the throne again. Remember the...
Rhaenyra?
No, Rhaenyra is who's there right now.
Oh. No, but she was played by a younger actress, but that was just in House of Dragon. I don't know.
See? But we like it, and the only reason I'm watching it is because I'm waiting for just a little bit of...
You're just looking for some nudity.
And all that's been so far is guys and their junk.
Yeah.
Men's butts and men's junk.
Yeah, that was hard.
What?
See that pun?
They weren't hard, by the way. They were
Accident,
flaccid.
actually.
Yeah. They were flaccid.
That was challenging to watch.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
We're going to have to talk about how much this hurts, your fascination with other men's penises on TV.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Okay.
On that note... No, seriously, if anyone could give us some help.
Penises.
No, if anyone could give us help on House of Dragons. Seriously. Because we like it.
Help.
It's just we press pause and go, wait, who's this? Why are we here right now? I thought he was dead. What? Wait, she's back black? No? Is she on his side? She's not on his side. She is on his side. I don't know. Don't we do that?
Yes. Yes.
And then I'm just going, could they just kiss? If they could just
but she's the daughter of that guy, but the other daughter is on the other side. Wait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yet we keep watching it.
We do.
All right.
Okay. On that note,
we're gonna
go watch House of Dragons. Peace.
What were you going to say? Cheese. 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 God. Oh. And that note.
That was so perfect.
You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Kathy Shit Show. All recording, engineering, and production provided by us. Connect with the podcast on Instagram at Jack and Kathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Productions.
Point.